What's going on, guys? Today, it's a beautiful day. We're finally getting around to putting this Ford 9 into our truck. We gotta get the rear end in this thing so we could drive it again. Get it out of the spot. Get it over to the shop, do a compression check so we can figure out if it's worth rebuilding the bottom end of this truck. We got a little bit of a rod knock or main bearing slap. Something's going on and we're losing oil pressure. That's a different video. But for now, we're trying to get this Ford 9 in. We had to take the rear end. I don't think we did any videos on that, but we had to take the rear end out of this, which was an 8.8, and drop it into my old work truck. And in a pinch because the other one exploded. Someone didn't put it back right. There is a video on that. But now we're ready to put the 9-inch in. So we got this thing. This is the one out of the Pops 82 Ford. We sent that thing to the scrapyard, but we pulled everything out that was cool and put it on our truck. So, of course, this is a real Ford 9-inch, I think with a 355 rear gear, something like that. So we're hoping our drive shaft and our extended cab will reach. We haven't done any measuring or anything. We kind of just, this one's, we don't need the truck, so it's kind of like, it'd be nice to have a full-size truck, but we're just kind of doing as we go. So it's no emergency to get this back on the road, but it would be nice to have a full-size pickup truck, like I said. So we put steelies on here. It drops the rear end way lower, so we don't have to have the truck way up in the air. But we did put the new springs that Pops had bought for his truck on this truck. They're not for an extended cab, but it's the same amount of leaves, so we're hoping that we don't have any issues there. If it sags too much for one reason or another, we'll just put some helpers on it. But this truck won't be hauling much. But let's try to get this rear end in here. The drum on the driver's side is locked up still. It's being kind of a pain and it wants to run one way. There it goes. So there's these dowels with these bolts that go through, and there's a special headed bolt down here. And that slides right into these holes. And that's what lines your rear end up real nice. So I'm going to get this shifted over to the right and get a jack underneath of it. Got room for that. And get this thing situated up underneath of here. So stay tuned. We got new U-bolts for this thing and everything. So it should be in a good shape once we get it in place.
Okay, so we got our U-bolts started and we got our plates on the top. This is how Ford rears are. Other vehicles different. Sometimes the rear is on top of the spring. This particular application, the rear is below the spring. Yay. But when you start to bring your U-bolts up, you want to try and keep the same amount of distance on your threads. That way they're pulling equally on each side. And on this particular truck, they're calling for 120 foot-pounds. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and torque these down to 80 on both sides. And then we'll set up to our 120 and do our final torque on that. Junior's underneath it there, and if you guys happen to have a 80s Ford extended cab pickup truck, this has a 2-piece drive shaft in it. My old F150 had a 1-piece in it. But the same drive shaft between the 8.8 and the Ford 9-inch are exactly the same length from the yoke to the rear and all that stuff. So we don't have to worry about getting our drive shaft lengthened or shortened or any of that crazy crap.
And it's a slip yoke right after the carrier bearing.
Yep, so that's all working out good. So now I'm going to get to torquing and we'll take it from there. And we got to put our shocks back on.
Brakes.
And we got to hook our brake line back up, but we do need to make a little piece of line that got broken under the truck. And then we could jack this thing up and put the wheels back on it, and the damn thing will roll again.
Alright, there it is, completely installed. U-bolts are in. We got the shocks mounted. Bottom and top. U-bolts put on. We tighten down the pinion bolt the rest of the way. Got the brake line finished there. There was already a coupling there and a repair, so we just jumped from there and it'll be alright. Got the brakes bled out. That's good to go. Oh, I think I forgot to put my little caps on there. Whoop. We got 3 caps on the whole truck. We ought to keep them. So, yeah, if you're trying to switch the rear in your extended cab, just know you have this slip yoke here, man. I don't know if you guys can really see or not. Ooh. There we go. Flashlight help? Anyway, you got a slip yoke here. So, that's nice. We got a cap over here too. Boop. Alright. So that's it. Moves, grooves. We filled up the fluid. And got the tires on there. Big, nice 10-inch tires. These are new springs. Should ride nice. But we got a stronger Ford 9-inch to handle all the performance we plan on doing up above. So we got a T5 to swap into this. And hopefully building up the motor a little bit stronger. So stay tuned and keep on checking us out. James from All Hail Internal Combustion. See you next time.